as you begin to wonder what it's like to become the version of you who already is all the things you once imagined becoming, you may begin to realize, or perhaps not yet, that belief is not something you find. Belief is something you become. And as you sit or stand or float into the rhythm of these words, as the sounds wrap around your awareness and through it, you may forget where you end and energy begins. Because you awaken your energy, and awakening energy awakens you. And when energy awakens you, you remember you are energy. And when you are energy, you remember what you forgot to remember. That energy is limitless, that energy is language, that energy is choice. And so, if you are energy, and energy flows where attention goes, the question is not how you use it, but what you choose to notice, and who you decide to become, when your beliefs start believing in you. I awaken my energy, I am energy, I feel my energy, I channel my energy, I transmute my energy, I control my energy, I increase my energy. As these words spiral deeper, the deeper you go, the lighter you feel. And the lighter you feel, the more you let go. And the more you let go, the more you remember. Your mind is a magnet. Your focus is fuel. Your feelings are frequencies you can tune. Like a dial, a wheel, a rhythm that spins. Not forward or backward, but inward. Let me teach you with examples. There was once a man who was exhausted, drained, collapsed by life. And then he laughed. In that laughter he remembered, my state creates my fate. He stood up straighter. He changed his breath. He moved differently. He imagined golden light pouring from the sky into his chest. And with each breath the world responded, not to who he was, but to who he chose to be. Another woman once felt like a victim, until she closed her eyes and said the words, I'm not a prisoner of circumstance. I'm a creator of consequence. And so she imagined her energy field expanding. She pulled her shoulders back. She smiled before anything happened, and then everything changed. And perhaps in your own way, you already know what it feels like to switch beliefs, the way that you change gears. What if I told you that your mind already knows how to forget the limits that you were taught, how to remember the truths that were buried, how to install a new operating system where identity isn't a sentence, it's a spell. Because every behaviour began as a belief, and every belief began as a choice. And you now choose to believe that energy is your language, that movement is momentum, that presence is power. You're vibrant, you're electric, you're centred and expansive. Your enthusiasm embodied, your stillness with a pulse. Let this pattern loop. You feel energy. Feeling energy generate energy. Generated energy focuses attention. Focused attention fuels belief. Belief shapes action. Action creates reality. Reality amplifies feeling. And the cycle begins again. Nested in the spiral is your truth. You're the cause. You're the code. You're the system that upgrades itself. And you know, just like updating software, sometimes it's not about deleting the old, but installing something stronger, letting the old fade from use. So as we continue, without even trying, you notice energy increasing in your chest, or your spine, or in the breath between words, as these beliefs begin to fit like clothes you forgot you owned. Let's continue installing. Energy is abundant and flows freely. You're connected to a vast universal source. What you focus on grows. What you feel becomes real. What you imagine, you embody. You move your body with purpose and passion. You nourish your system with intention. You visualize light because you are light. You speak life into your cells. You clear space and your mind becomes clear. You ground yourself and life rises to meet you. You breathe with rhythm and life dances in return. Isn't it funny? how beliefs become behaviours, and behaviours become traits, and traits become identity, and identity becomes destiny. This is how you've always been destined to become a vibrant, resilient, focused, centred being of unshakable, unstoppable, undeniable energy. And you know what you've already accepted. You no longer need to learn, because it's already part of you, like breath, like fire, like joy you forgot you planted until now. So now, you don't need to remember this consciously, because your unconscious is already learning how to install this operating system of limitless light. Just imagine, or better yet, feel it. You're a conduit, you're a channel. You're the generator and the receiver. You're an energetic being sculpted by choice. An energy flows to you, through you, as you. Now, without thinking about it, these truths settle like seeds into your subconscious soil. They grow in the background and blossom in your behaviours. And everything changes because you changed first. And so, you now have experienced all these examples of how focusing on combining these beliefs and installing them unconsciously transforms the system by transforming the self. And the more you allow this to integrate, the more natural it becomes who you already are.